Boston, Saturday, June 27th. Cold Hard Steel meets added rivalry as John Cena battles Rusev for the United States Championship in a steel cage match. Plus, Seth Rollins collides with Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's WWE Super Show, Saturday, June 27th. Tickets and VD packages available this Saturday.
You already know Kowloon Restaurant, established in 1950 and spanning 4 generations, serves a multi-Asian menu. Did you also know that Kowloon Restaurant is New England's premier Asian dining and entertainment complex, serving Cantonese, Szechuan, Thai, and Polynesian cuisine? And did you know that Kowloon Restaurant is also the home of the finest Japanese sushi? If you haven't dined at Kowloon Restaurant lately, then you simply haven't dined at Kowloon. Kowloon Restaurant, Route 1 North in Saugus.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Harley Race.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
This is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti. Today, let's review the May 11th, 2015 edition of WWE Monday Night Raw, emanating from Cincinnati, Ohio. The show opened up with Triple H getting out of a limousine after a short absence from Raw. Eden Styles continued to do her Lillian Garcia impression as he made his way towards the ring. That's not a compliment. The interview was much ado about nothing. Rollins and Kane came out. They wanted to make peace and play nice. Then Triple H wound up booking Kane against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins against Randy Orton in the same old type of matches that we see on Raw. Then Jamie Noble began running his mouth towards Triple H, so he wound up booking J&J Security against Dean Ambrose. To me, just the lack of common sense right there is, why would you put your champion, Seth Rollins, in a match 6 days before the pay-per-view, unless it was going to be some kind of an interference fest towards the end? But if Triple H looks at Seth Rollins as one of his guys in the Authority, why would you put the champion in a match instead of resting him before the pay-per-view? But that is a different story for a different time. Dean Ambrose came out. He got the win in front of the hometown fans in Cincy, defeating Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble in a handicap match. Fun enough matchup. Good to see the challenger go over with a pinfall victory on the go-home Raw before Payback. Sheamus joined the commentary team, who announced that he'll be facing Dolph Ziggler at Payback Sunday. With both a network and a YouTube channel, why can't WWE announce things like that on a different platform and make them seem more important than a throwaway sentence used in the middle of a match? They might get more bang for their buck. They also announced during the matchup that it'll be King Barrett taking on Neville. Solid matchup here. Sheamus wound up interfering and costing Ziggler the matchup. More even Steven booking, where Ziggler pinned Barrett in their tag team matchup last week. Sheamus and Ziggler brawled after the matchup. Glad to see WWE was at least attempting to build some heat and do what was a pretty unfocused upon singles matchup for the pay-per-view. Ziggler always wants to deliver. I look forward to seeing Ziggler and Sheamus on Sunday night. Great to see the Raw reunion of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan after the hint of it on SmackDown last week. These guys should have never parted way from each other, or Bray Wyatt for that matter. They've done nothing of importance since, with Rowan particularly since the split-up that was so unimportant to WWE that they never bothered to explain why. Rowan squashed Fandango in singles action. I don't remember hearing the announcers mentioning that Rowan attacked Fandango after his match with Luke Harper on SmackDown last week. Glad to see them back in the tag team ranks. Still waiting to see something creative done with Fandango beyond his various dancing issues. There's a lot of talent in that man. Neville took John Cena up on his WWE U.S. title open challenge this week, and fans, this was a great go out of your way to try and find it match online if possible. Another two-segment matchup, great action. Cena gave Neville a lot more than a typical star would with a young guy. Finish saw Neville hit the red arrow off the top rope, appeared to have the match in hand, only to have Rusev run in and break up the pin. Neville won via disqualification. He looked great, and you got more build towards the I Quit match between Cena and Rusev at Payback Sunday night. Roman Reigns and Kane went at it once again on Raw in what turned into a no contest as the match never actually began. Kane attacked Reigns as he was jumping over the guardrail during his entrance, and the two had a pretty good brawl around ringside for a few minutes. After a series of teases and reversals, Reigns speared Kane over the announcer's table in what will build to a no disqualification, no countout match on SmackDown this Thursday night. Tamina came away with the win over Brie Bella. Would love to see Tamina get more focus in the Divas rank. Brie, in my opinion, continued to look weak, but it was a good job in building up Tamina after her long absence due to injury. The nonsense between Curtis Axel and Damian Sandow was an absolute disgrace. It was something like two little kids put together, with Axel imitating Hulk Hogan and Damian Sandow being the Macho Man Randy Savage. In all honesty, who gives a shit? One of the worst segments I've seen in years. The Ascensions came out to try and stop the pain, leading to a fight between the four. They wound up making this garbage a tag team matchup during the Payback pre-show Sunday night, in a match I hope the Baltimore crowd destroys to send the message that nobody wants to see this. Daniel Bryan was next in what seemed like a replay from last May when he was stripped of the WWE World Championship. Why he ever came back earlier this year when he wasn't ready for no real reason, as there was no solid place on the top of the card for him, is beyond me. It was horrible planning and booking with Bryan. But they wouldn't have had one less network subscription or one less pay-per-view buy for WrestleMania if Daniel Bryan wasn't in the 7-person ladder match. And look at what wound up happening. He's out just a couple of months after he returned from a long absence. Bryan said the Intercontinental title should be defended and wound up leaving the Intercontinental title in the ring. I hope he is able to get healthy and returns when he is 100% so he doesn't place his body at risk. Professional wrestling, it's a dangerous industry to work in. Everybody loves Daniel Bryan. Everybody wants to see him succeed. Our best wishes go out to Daniel Bryan for a full recovery and an even better return to WWE. Big E and Cesaro went at it in a one-on-one in preparation for the WWE Tag Team Championship match at Payback. The New Day continues to get over strong with the crowd. I love their interaction. I love both of these teams and look forward to the 2 out of 3 Falls matchup Sunday. Another strong matchup here. Both guys delivered in a battle of the big men. Michael Cole got Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods confused not once but twice. The tag team partners got into it at ringside, leading to Cesaro rolling up Big E for the win. If they're going to continue this trend of the partners going at it in singles action, I'd love to see Kofi against Tyson Kidd on SmackDown Thursday night. Big surprise of the night was the return of the Elimination Chamber on Sunday, May the 31st from Corpus Christi, Texas. Yet another great reason to try out WWE Network absolutely free, as you'll have access to not one, but 2 pay-per-views. With Elimination Chamber, unlike Payback, you cannot purchase Elimination Chamber on traditional pay-per-view through the cable company or a satellite dish. You have to have WWE Network to see it, and I really think that's a cool idea. We didn't get Elimination Chamber in February, as had been the regular month for it going back to 2008. The main event here will be what's important for a main event on a pay-per-view show. It will be special, as opposed to a throwaway 4-way matchup we have on Sunday at Payback. You have to look at Seth Rollins, Kane, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Randy Orton likely filling 5 of the 6 slots in the Elimination Chamber match itself. Love to see WWE even go back to the old In Your House programs, pay-per-views. They were the $14.95 variety. They were only 2 hours long. It was something special. Maybe those could be network exclusive, or maybe the house show of the month. Something that you can't even get on pay-per-view that you have to have the network for. Again, I tip my hat to WWE. I think it's an outstanding idea. And fans that take advantage of the free offer to get the network this month, they're going to get 2 pay-per-views. Really cool. Bray Wyatt came out for another promo. Instead of these guys coming out and doing their own thing, I'd love to see the old days of someone like Mean Gene and others actually interview the person instead of having them spiel. I don't know how to put it. Bray came out, he talked about his issues with Ryback, and that led to the big guy coming out and cleaning house of Wyatt. You have to expect this matchup in the singles variety Sunday night. Main event, it was Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, non-title matchup. JBL made a great point, even though it was done in character, about multi-person matches taking away from a strong singles match main event on pay-per-view. He was doing it in character, trying to defend Rollins, kind of being in a 3-on-1 position when he defends the gold in Baltimore Sunday night. But to me, the point is, fans would much rather see a strong singles match main event as opposed to a throwaway four-way, and I'll stand by that position. But Orton and Rollins, these two have outstanding matches with each other. This was no exception. In the second TV segment of the matchup, Orton hit a monster superplex, shades of his father, the WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton, another that's competed for us here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation. He's a great guy. Just a high-quality match overall. As Orton was going for the RKO at the finish, J&J Security ran in for a triple team until Kane came out. He teased a babyface turn. Him and Rollins were having a stare down at ringside, and then Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose hit the ring to even the odds. After triple teaming Rollins, Orton hit an RKO on him, then Reigns speared Orton, and then Ambrose DDT'd Reigns while Kane stood at ringside the entire time with a chair observing everything. Overall, this was a pretty strong show. There was some great wrestling here. Really, the imitations took away from it. Not only did you have the Hogan and Macho Man imitation from Axel and Sandow, you had the primetime players doing an imitation of the New Age Outlaws. And again, who cares? It's not Halloween. It's not Saturday Night Live. People want to see wrestling with strong characters with an edge. I don't think you're going to sell a network subscription. I don't think you're going to sell pay-per-views. I don't think you're going to sell live event tickets. And I don't think you're going to sell merchandise off of your stars of today imitating legends. If you want to get creative with the whole process, come up with ideas for someone like Axel, for someone like Sandow, for someone like Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the primetime players, to get them over as stars. So they don't have to imitate someone much higher up the food chain than them. Give those guys and all the guys on the undercard. People can say what they want about Vince Russo, but I will defend him at this point here. During the Attitude Era, everybody on the WWE roster had something to do. Everybody on the WWE roster was focused on one of the programs and given a shot. You do not see that in today's WWE, which is why it can become stale at certain points. Sunday night in Baltimore, it's going to be an interesting show. It seems like there's going to be really good wrestling from top to bottom, but is the build-up going to make people go out of their way to repurchase the WWE Network? Is it going to give fans a reason to sample the WWE Network or pay even $45 to $55 on pay-per-view? I'm not overly confident. Is there nothing really fresh on the card except for the possible Ryback and Bray Wyatt match? And I don't think that's a pay-per-view money match, so to speak. But like I said, Payback looks like a strong show overall with what should be some really good wrestling up and down the card. On the Payback kickoff show, the Ascension takes on the ridiculous Curtis Axel and Damian Sandow imitations of the Mega Powers. On the pay-per-view itself, it'll be Neville and King Barrett going at it one-on-one. Look for Neville to really showcase his stuff on this one. Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus continue their feud in Baltimore. Again, Ziggler is always out to steal the show. I'm looking forward to that match as well. In a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team titles, The New Day defends the gold against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Again, I expect this match to be really strong. And an I Quit match for the WWE U.S. Championship. John Cena defends against Rusev in what's being advertised as their final encounter after going at it on 4 straight pay-per-views. In the main event, it's the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defends against Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. Will we see some kind of a swerve in this match where the title is possibly held up with Elimination Chamber coming Sunday, May the 31st? Remains to be seen. You can also expect a Ryback and Bray Wyatt match, and I'm sure some kind of Divas action. Remember, the WWE Network is free for the month of May. It allows you access to both pay-per-views, along with all of the network's great features and archives. Click on the link below if you're watching this on YouTube, and sign up now. It'll take you right to the registration page, and again, it costs you nothing. Also, don't forget that you can help us keep the lights on by using our special links for both Amazon.com and WWEshop.com. No matter what you buy, even non-wrestling merchandise on Amazon, We get a tiny percentage of your purchase, and it doesn't increase your cost 1 cent. You can also help the costs of producing our online exclusive videos by sending a donation of any size through PayPal using the email address bw@bostonwrestling.com. We bring you tons of free content, and we'd really appreciate it. We'd also be happy if you joined us by subscribing for free to our YouTube channel. We're starting to close in on 800 free videos for your viewing pleasure. If you enjoy what you see, share it with your friends and click the old like button so YouTube showcases our videos to more and more of your fellow fans. Till we speak again, folks, send us your feedback, send us your thoughts on Raw, what you think about Payback coming up, and I hope you and yours be well.